Hello everyone, welcome back to Reloader. Today, we're rewinding the clock on our past 3 episodes and have compiled the entire match into this episode. This is Chris, and as always I'm joined by the Authority of Attack, Joe Pistoletto.
Hello everyone and welcome back again. I hope all you out there are as excited as I am to watch our rewind and see all the 3 rounds together and get the lowdown on how it went down.
Well, we're not going to waste any time today, Joe. Let's get right into round 1. Could you please go over the rules for today's field?
Not a problem. Once again, our field guide is 7 pieces of ammo on each side, plus the one that goes to the winner of the sled sprint. We have 3 shooting targets on our field, plus the final boss target. In order to unlock your weapon, you must take the dummy from the nether ender to the reloader zone. And in order to take out that boss target, unlocking your mace, you must do the memory challenge and put the ammo boxes in the correct order.
Joe, how good is your memory? Do you remember the order of the boxes from episode 1?
Yeah, it's red, blue, and chrome. It's right there.
Right off the top of his head, ladies and gentlemen.
Just like that.
Just like that. Well, we'll get out of your way and get right into round 1.
See you at the finish. Well, looks like blue won that first race.
Well, you did it with 6 pieces of ammo. You needed 5 to shoot all 3 targets, which is a lot better than I did, going 2 for 4. So tell us how you got the job done, Joe. What was going through your mind out there?
Well, basically, first round, I wanted to win that sled race, give myself the options to go about the rest of the reloads as I chose, try to get it done as quickly as possible. Seeing that I had the advantage, I chose to go for all the ammo I could, be it that I wasn't quite sure of my shooting skills, but it seemed to work out.
Well, while you were dealing with your uncertainty, I was out there lifting that 150-pound sandbag. So at least I could put that in my pocket even though I lost the round.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Well, I didn't finish the round. You finished our first round ever in 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Good at shooting, 3 for 5. You had 1 still in the chamber that you could have used if you needed it. I was barely starting to shoot when you were finishing, so I was way behind. And most of it was due to that wheelbarrow issue I had. Never again will I try to back up the wheelbarrow. I wish you would have told me that before we started.
Well, I didn't know that was your plan.
Me either. Well, congratulations, round 1 to you. Let's get right into round 2. We're switching sides. As always in Reloader, round 2, the players are going to switch sides to make sure there's no advantage on one side versus the other. I'm going to be on blue side, so I got a blue shirt this time.
And I remember the second round was red, white, and orange.
Oh, wow. The memory on this guy, folks.
Man, we're not just athletes, we're intellects as well.
Red, white, and orange is going to be 50 pounds that you have to put in that wheelbarrow and in the exact order.
And here we go, ready again to start round 2. We'll see you folks at the finish line.
See you there. And Joe Pisoletto takes it down, wins round 2, and wins the match, going up 2-0. Let's take a look at the replay. I'm just standing there watching you dumbfounded.
Well, I know you had a little bit of technical difficulty.
Did you know it at the time? Because I didn't really know it at the time.
In retrospect, now I know, but I see that. But at the moment, I did not. I just knew I had a good lead, a little bit full of myself. But yeah, I was happy to win the first match.
Joe Pisoletto only needing to win the race and 2 reloads on his way to going 3 for 4 from the field and finishing with a faster round time than his first round. Reloader Chief loses the second round and the match, shooting only 1 for 4 after completing 3 reloads. Let's get right into round 3. It's not a deciding round, not a rubber match, it's just a redemption round for myself. Could you please tell us our ammo boxes this time?
Blue, red, orange. And by the way, you look pretty serious there.
Yeah. It's time for redemption. And it's time for reloader. We'll see you on the other side.
See you at the finish.
Finally, some justice in the world.
I still think you cheated.
And a new record round time. How about that? That should override your other 2 wins, I would think, no?
Well, last time I checked, 2 is more than 1.
Let's take a look at the replay. You had me beat getting to the target, but you look like you slowed down as you reach for that mace.
In all honesty, I thought I had you. I really thought I had you. I slowed down. And again, for everybody out there, never slow down. Don't underestimate your opponent. Don't think you have a comfortable lead. Keep on pushing, because this race can change at any moment.
And I did cut the corner there pretty sharp, and I let my wheelbarrow tip over. But we didn't have a rule against that at the time. Now, as we said in our last episode, it's going to be a rule going forward.
Well, yeah, trial and error, something that came into play. I still think I won, but that's okay.
Well, you could think that all you want. The gong said differently. Let's take a look at our stats. Pretty much a perfect game on both sides. 3 for 3 shooting. Really fast times from both of us. Only 2 reloads. I had that extra ammo from winning the race, but only needed 3. 100% shooting for you, Joe. So you got better with shooting with every round.
Well, I mean, surprisingly, we were both pretty efficient, being it that it was our third round. You know, we had to get there early, set up the field, run each round, reset the field, but we both were true to our shot.
We had the benefit of being on the same side as the last round, and it was probably 30 minutes after our last round by the time we reset the field. So we still had probably that shooter's eye.
Well, as you mentioned, I did most of the resetting, so I think you caught your breath a little bit.
Let's recap our match and see the keys to victory. Your keys to victory, Joe. And the first key to victory was expedition.
In expedition, it was the way we were able to get a quick start, win the sprint sled part of each round. And in this match, whoever did that was the victor.
In the first round, I stumbled out of the gate. That sled pulled me back, but you didn't seem to have that much of an issue with it. The second round was a little bit closer. I remember even asking you, hey, who won that? But you said you did.
I mean, I'm never going to say I didn't.
The third round was a little bit easier for me, and I ended up taking that piece of ammo. Second key to victory was extraction, and the way you were able to extract the rescue dummy with greater success than I was in all 3 rounds.
Well, somewhere along the line it had clicked. I know we had tried this previously. We both had kind of struggled with the dummy, but I figured out a good way to get under them, pick them up, and take them back to the reloader zone.
The dummies are filled with rubber mulch, and the way the mulch has set, it becomes very heavy in the lower half of the body. So once you figure out how the weight shifts on that, and it's very leg heavy, it becomes a lot easier.
Well, yeah, that is a factor. And like you said, once you figure it out, I mean, it's still not an easy reload to perform, but you have more an idea of what to do.
Yeah, and the reload to drag to the center of the field is optional for 2 pieces of ammo, but to rescue him out of the nether ender zone is mandatory. You need that to unlock your weapon. I used the dragging method mainly because I had trouble picking them up and putting them in the wheelbarrow to begin with, so I figured dragging them for the second and third round was just going to be easier. Plus, I'm tired at that point.
I mean, well, you can drag them, carry them.
You can throw them if you're strong.
If you just got it if you just got it like that, you just chuck them into the middle. Hey, whatever works.
Our last key to victory was extermination and getting the job done with your weapon. And Joe, you can't be any geek off the street. You got to be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep. You did that today and took out every target on the field.
And I was excited about that. Not to be redundant, but this was a great day for us. I feel, we hit the road early, we got a lot accomplished, and being able to take out those targets every time, even though I lost the last round, was definitely gratifying for me.
You really do get a feel for the weapon as the rounds go on. I was assuming that being fatigued in the wrist from all the heavy carries would make the shooting in the later rounds tough, but it seems that's not the case. So our first match of alpha testing is now in the books. Let's take a look at the total stats for our 3 rounds. We both had 7 reloads, Joe. You were the only one successful in hitting all targets. 3 for 4 shooting on average per round. Not bad. Best round, though, has got to go to me in that 3rd round, because I was just, shooting hot fire out there.
I mean, if we saw the time, it would be like 2 minutes, 57 seconds, 0.9.
But that best round time, just a consolation prize for me. I still went home with the L.
Oh yeah, I mean, but hey, you did win the last round, and I give you credit. Fastest time yet.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to hear more about my excuses, just send me a message, drop a message in the comments. I got so many excuses. You know it was hot out there?
It was hot.
Do you know my gun didn't work the second round? Did you see that?
Would have made a difference.
I think my sled was heavier than yours. It pulled me back on that first round. Third round, I'm pretty sure you skipped some steps out there. I don't know.
Nah, I play by the books.
Yeah, you should see what I had to edit out, folks.
Well, you don't have to see which books they are.
The Joe Pistoletto wins our first match 2-1. The boss has been neutralized.
I was excited to win, but I was excited for the day itself. As you mentioned out there, at the end of the day, there were no losers. I think we both got a lot accomplished. And I hope everybody out there enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed doing it.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm glad we were able to test all the reloads out there individually. You know, both sandbags, jerry cans, etc.
Yeah, thankfully all of our trial and error worked out. There weren't too many difficulties.
Well, that'll conclude our first match from the desert. Next week, we're going to start a new testing match and take it to a grass field and see how these reloads do on a new terrain.
Well, I'm excited for it. I hope everybody else out there is excited for it. We'll see how it plays out, and hopefully I can win the second match.
Well, I don't hope that, but we'll see what happens. Thank you all for watching, and thank you for watching this double-sized episode of all 3 rounds in one match. We would really love to know your feedback. Do you like this type of format with 3 rounds in the one episode, or do you like the original way of, you know, 1 round, 1 episode, shorter episodes, or longer episodes? Let us know, because, you know, we want to give the fans what they want. Joe, you want to leave us with anything? This is your victory speech. You want to leave us? You want to sign us off with a victory speech?
I want to thank all the people out there.
There was nobody out there in the desert. It was just me and you.
All those who I failed to name, besides myself. Thank you, folks, and I hope to someday see everybody out there.
We'll see you out there. Thank you so much.
See you again.
Next time on Reloader, the terrain changes to grass as alpha testing continues with another best of 3. Can Joe Pistoletto continue his winning ways? More importantly, who is that masked man? Find out next time on Reloader Sport. Hello everyone, welcome back to Reloader. Today we're reviewing our second test match and rewinding the clock in the last couple of episodes. I'm Christopher Bumbershoot, and I'm joined in the commentary booth by the Authority of Attack, Joe Pistoletto.
How's everybody doing out there? It's good to be back. I'm looking forward to reviewing this second match, and once again, let's take a look at the outcome.
Our second match, Joe, was on the grass this time. Bit of a different terrain than the desert our first time around.
Much different terrain.
And what was also different was your opponent. Now, some would say that he looks kind of familiar from our first match, but I'm not so sure.
I had a slight sense that I'd seen this person before. I just couldn't quite put my finger on it.
But what was different, for sure, was the intensity that he brought to the field. Can't deny that. But before we see what our 2 competitors can do, let's go over our Reloader field guide, which explains the rules for this match.
Well, for the second match of this alpha testing, there'll be 7 pieces of ammunition on each side of the field, and the one that goes to the race winner. There'll be 3 shooting targets, as well as our 1 final boss target. In order to unlock your weapon, you must take the dummy from the nether ender to the reloader zone. And finally, to unlock that mace and take out the boss, you must once again put the memory boxes in the correct order.
That's right, Joe. Our players need to do a memory challenge before they can attack the boss target and win the round. Can you tell us what those memory boxes will be that they need to remember in the correct order?
Those boxes will be white, orange, and chrome, totaling 55 pounds for our contestants to put in the correct order.
All right, let's see if they get those memory boxes correct, but without further ado, it is Reloader time. When the siren sounds, our players will start the round.
We'll see you on the other side.
Round 1 goes to Corvulu the Torrent on the blue side. Joe, you're crossing over the nether ender zone like it's nobody's business. That's a violation of the rules. And then your wheelbarrow tips over, another violation of the rules. Tell me what you're thinking out there as you lose this round due to disqualification.
Well, I'd like to think my wheelbarrow fell over on its own by accident, not that I pushed it over.
Yeah, magic, huh?
But at the same time, I was definitely in desperation mode for that first round.
Well, your DQ is coming from not hitting all the targets. It's not coming from the wheelbarrow tipping over. You could have just picked up the wheelbarrow in that case and with the ammo boxes and still been in play. But you can't approach the boss target until you've eliminated all his, his lackeys, all his foot soldiers. So you've got disqualified because the boss spotted you and he's made of steel. He'll just kill you. He'll kill you.
I was kind of hoping nobody would notice I didn't shoot all the targets.
Corvulu only did 2 reloads. It was, all business out there. 2 reloads, 4 pieces of ammo. Went 3 for 4 from the field. A 4-minute and 18-second round time, a bit longer than we had in the desert, Joe. It's got to be because of the terrain, right? The grass is hard to walk on.
Well, yeah, a different surface definitely came into play. Even though we were out in the dirt, it was a solid dirt surface out there in the desert. It wasn't like it was muddy,
not like sand or anything.
Or hilly. Yeah, the grass came into play where it did take us longer to finish each round.
Let's get right into our second round of this grass terrain test match. Our players will be switching sides as always. Corvulu's on the red. Joe, you're going to the blue. As with every round, our memory boxes are going to change. So let's draw a card at random and see what they are.
The correct order will be white, blue, orange, as our competitors see it.
All right, reloader time, Joe. They're going to see Corvulu at the finish. Are they going to see you at the finish?
They're going to see me at the finish first.
All right, see you there.
See you there.
Match 2's in the books with Corvulu winning it 2 rounds to nothing. Our stats for round 2. Corvulu with only 2 reloads, extremely efficient out there. 4 pieces of ammo, but the 3 pieces of ammo he picked up from the reloader zone, he delivered all at once, Joe, with the cash and the jugs at the same time.
Well, that was the first time anybody has accomplished that feat in our sport. Corvulu obviously is a very devious, cunning, intuitive competitor.
It's like he invented the game or something.
Yeah, hey, who knows? Maybe he telepathically got into Reloader Chief's mind and already had a plan of attack ahead of time.
Some inside baseball for everyone. Joe Pistoletto yelling cheater on the field during round 2 as Corvulu delivered those 2 reloads.
And for all those out there who don't know me, who will get to know me, I don't like to lose.
But shooting, it was there from 3 for 3 from the field. Yourself only went 1 for 3. We checked that weapon after the round. It was working fine, so it was just, your aim was off today.
Yeah, it's not the bat, it's the hitter. In this case, it was not the weapon, it was the shooter or the competitor, which was me, and not my best day.
You had 5 pieces of total ammo. That 3rd reload, rescuing the dummy to the center of the field. Unfortunately, you didn't even get to use those bullets.
I had 5 pieces of ammo, and I took out 1 target.
Well, you only shot 3 times.
I mean, if this was baseball, yeah, I'd be in the Hall of Fame.
1 for 3.
but it's not, so...
Round time was an improvement over the second round. That's probably due to less weapon issues that we had in the first round.
And not only was it less weapon issues, but again, Corvulu was very efficient.
His efficiency was only one of his keys to victory. Let's take a look at the other keys to victory today. First key to victory for Corvulu was runner. And just like the first match, Joe, the person that won the race zone won every round.
Well, so far in this alpha testing phase of Reloader Sport, we've seen, yes, the sprint sled winner eventually ends up becoming the winner of each round.
5 rounds now. 5 in a row, 5 rounds.
5 in a row, the stats don't lie.
Our second key to victory was gunner. And yeah, Corvulu was just a marksman out there today.
Corvulu must have some background in shooting or marksmanship or weaponry, because he was way above myself, the authority of attack, Joe Pistoletto, and definitely put him to shame.
Yeah, I'll tell you the background is called Duck Hunt and Time Crisis and House of the Dead. Our last key to victory, Joe, was stunner. And stunner refers to stunning the boss target and taking them off guard by doing the memory challenge. That's how you unlock your mace, and that's how you win the game. Corvulu was able to get the memory boxes correct both rounds to stun the boss and win the game. But both competitors were loading that memory box in the wheelbarrow very early on in the match, before they even took shots at their target, and I kind of didn't like that.
Well, I mean, again, this is a trial and error phase. We try to figure out the best way to run each round, but moving forward, there are always ways to improve.
Yeah, it's a little too easy when the memory card's still fresh in your mind, 2 to 3 minutes after you've seen it.
Correct.
So going forward, every round we do from now on, memory challenge cannot be done until after all the targets have been hit, just to make it a little bit harder. Because that's what this is all about. This is a testing, and we want this to be a competition that people could say, that was fun, but that was also difficult.
But yeah, it was also a challenge.
Getting to our stats for the entire 2-round match, Corvulu the Torrent put on a clinic of what it takes to do the minimal out there, only doing 2 reloads in each round, plus picking up an ammo in each round for winning the race zone. He hit all of his targets and only missed 1 shot out of 7. His best round time came in the second round at 3 minutes and 53 seconds. Joe Pistoletto, on the other hand, had to do a little bit more work and do 3 loads in each round, and his shooting just wasn't there. He only went 3 for 8 from the field, and as a result, didn't finish any rounds.
Well, great competitor. I mean, I got to take my hat off to him. Hopefully one day in the future I'll be able to gain some redemption myself.
Yeah, no redemption round this time around. We're in a public park, so we got to dip on out of here.
Got to shake the spot.
But again, another fun match. It was exciting to be on a different terrain. We look forward to doing more matches on different terrains. We look forward to more athletes for sure.
Well, this is what that sport's all about. You know, again, the slogan is fit for survival, and survival means wherever you're at. It could be in the desert, it could be out in the middle of a park, it could be in the jungle, it could be in a warehouse, it could be anywhere. Are you ready to run and do what it takes to win each match?
It's all about testing yourself for sure.
This is a great sport. I hope everybody out there has enjoyed watching it. I hope you're excited to participate. And as for myself, I'm looking forward to the next phase of our testing for Reloader.
Well, Joe, in our last review episode for our first match, I may have given a list of reasons why I couldn't get the job done. Any excuses on your end today?
No excuses but excuses. I hadn't been my best prior to this match. Weather played a factor in my training.
I could vouch for that. You were coughing out there, but I didn't really give a shit.
Well, if you were, I wouldn't be either.
Our next phase begins next week, and we can't wait to show it to you. But until then, this is Chris, the Reloader Chief.
I'm the Authority of Attack, Joe Pistoletto.
Thank you all again for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we'll see you. We'll see you.
We look forward to seeing you again.
Alpha testing comes to a close with our 2-round exhibition match we've dubbed Trial by Fire. This showcase was our first battle with 4 enemy shooting targets and took place in heat upwards of 108 degrees. Hello everyone, I'm Christopher Bumbershoot, and I'm joined as always by the Authority of Attack, Joe Pistoletto.
Thank you, Chris. Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here and go over our recap of our match. The conditions for this were definitely grueling. We found out exactly who was fit for survival.
The first round of this exhibition, Joe, was a rematch from our green test in the park and pitted you against Corvulu the Torrent. You've done well in the desert in the past, and this was uncharted ground for a rain demon. We'll see how he does out of his element. But Joe, please go over the Reloader field guide for today.
For today's exhibition, there will be a total of 7 pieces of ammo, plus the one that goes to the race winner. There will be a total of 4 targets on each side, plus the final boss target. In order to unlock your weapon, you must rescue the dummy from the nether ender to the reloader zone. And finally, to unlock the mace, you must do the memory challenge in correct order to take out that boss target.
Thanks, and what would be the correct order for that challenge?
And the order for the memory boxes will be red, white, and blue, totaling 47 pounds.
And remember, the ammo boxes need to be lined up in the wheelbarrow in that exact order. Thanks, Joe. Let's get right to Reloader time. Round 1. Corvulu the Torrent wearing all black in 104 degrees weather. We may not see him at the finish, but we'll see you at the finish.
I'll be there.
Corvulu won the battle of round 1, but the Heat may have won the war, as that was the last we saw him out there today.
Well, Corvulu seemed to dissipate into the nothingness, but from what I recall, the Heat still stayed.
You set a new record for total ammo, Joe, with 7 pieces of ammo. But you didn't live up to your namesake, only shooting 3 for 6 from the field.
The 7 pieces of ammo were out of necessity. I figure adding more targets, I should get more pieces of ammo to give myself the greatest chances of taking them all out. Unfortunately, as you had mentioned, in this round, my aim definitely was off, and I conceded to Corvulu at the end.
Well, Joe, this round was yours, but it slipped through your trigger finger. Hopefully you regain your aim in round 2.
Well, I sure hope so as well. Round 1 was definitely not my best, and probably my worst by far.
Well, let's get right into round 2. Round 2 saw you switch to the blue side, and Corvulu was nowhere to be found.
Well, as I had mentioned, I think the Heat just basically dissipated him or sent him into vapor, but I was there for round 2. That's all I know.
But fear not, the Reloader Chief is here to fill in Corvulu's shoes, and coincidentally, they're the same pair of shoes.
That's quite intriguing how that works out.
Yeah. Well, he flew away. He doesn't need shoes, Joe. Our reloader field guide is going to be the same for round 2, of course, but could you please let us know what the memory boxes are for this time?
For this round, the memory boxes will be in the order of chrome, blue, and white for a total of 52 pounds.
All right, reloader time round 2, and now, Joe, 108 degrees. It got hotter since we reset the field.
Well, of course it's getting hotter. It's later on in the day.
Oh, is that how heat works? Obviously, I'm still learning. All right, we'll see you at the finish.
We'll see you there.
Joe Pistoletto getting some vindication out in the desert and winning round 2.
That's what I had predicted.
Yeah, but to be fair, you predict that every round. Let's take a look at the replay. You're wheeling into the nether ender, hit the boss target, and oops, you hit a hole right there with the wheelbarrow.
I almost lost the memory boxes.
You were in no danger of being caught because my gun stopped working on me. And I can do nothing but stand and watch the authoritative attack finish off the boss. Let's quickly review round 2's numbers. Both players had 3 reloads for this round, but Joe Pistoletto had 1 more piece of ammo from, quote, winning the race zone. Reloader Chief was perfect from the field but only got off 3 shots, but Joe Pistoletto went 4 for 5 to hit all the targets and win the round in 4 minutes and 48 seconds. But with this 2-round exhibition match in the books, the task is on us to analyze the sport of reloader expanded into 4 targets. So let's take a look at our keys to victory for the match as a whole. Our first key to victory was total, and now that we've moved on to 4 targets, Joe, we need a lot more pieces of ammo to take out the enemies, and that increased our total ammo for each round.
That's correct, Chris. Going into this exhibition match, we had added a 4th target, knowing that it wasn't going to take a race win plus a cash and maybe dummy rescue to complete each round. We knew it was going to take more ammo, a different strategy, be more grueling, test ourselves physically a little bit more, and see who would come out the victor for each round. So it proved to be more challenging this time out.
Gone are the rounds where we're squeaking out wins with 3 or 4 pieces of ammo total. Now we see we need a minimum of 5 or 6.
As we see this game expand, we're learning that you're going to have to put yourself through the rigors physically, complete more tasks, collect more ammo, because as you had mentioned, it's not a given we're going to win each round with 4 ammo to take out 4 targets. You need that insurance. The targets are pushed back farther. We're seeing this game evolve into what we'd like it to be.
But as we saw, Joe, doing more reloads and earning more ammo was not enough. Your shooting skills also need to be on point, and that takes us to our next key to victory, which is targeting.
Well, as we move the targets farther back, we saw that it did prove to be more difficult. Not only did we push ourselves physically in order to obtain those pieces of ammo, but we also had to test our ability to take out those targets. As we've learned, even with great physical ability, you still have to be able to have a good aim.
Yeah, and that's what makes this game unique. It's a physically demanding sport, but it also demands great focus and concentration at the same time. The winners of each round had to shoot 4 for 5 from the field to win, and these were easily the toughest targets we had set up to date. And our last key to victory, Joe, was tenacity, and whoever was the most tenacious out there in fighting the elements had the most success.
That's without a doubt. Corvulu came out the gates hard in round 1, although as you could see at the end of round 1, coming out the gates hard actually caught up to him. The temperatures would have gotten to anyone.
I think it's important to remember that under normal circumstances, this is a 3-round match, and that's a test to an individual's overall stamina. You don't want to burn yourself out in the first round like you said Corvulu did. You have to adjust and account for not just your own personal conditioning, but the elements as well in the environment.
Well, that's one thing I think we've both experienced as we've gone on. I mean, Reloader is a sport for those who are fit for survival. And if you're fit for survival, you're going to have to go through different conditions, weather being a factor in some of them. You put yourself physically to the test, and you have to be able to pace yourself through the match, not just one round.
Our trial by fire stat board for the match. Joe, you had a total of 7 reloads. The Chris Corvulu combo had 6. Targets hit 7 on both sides. Total shots, you went 7 for 11 from the field compared to 7 out of 8 from my side. Your best time was the second round, and it was the best time of the 2 rounds, 4:48. And Corvulu's win was 5 minutes and 8 seconds.
The Corvulu Chief combo definitely had better aim for this exhibition.
For always, right? Like forever.
I don't know about all that. I mean, I have to go back and see the stats.
You had 13 pieces of total ammo compared to 11 from the other side. Your 7 pieces of ammo in the first round was a new Reloader record. Hey, that's something to put in your pocket.
I mean, it was accomplishment with nothing to show at the end, basically.
No, you showed an L. You showed a loss.
Well, no, Yeah, ha ha ha.
This time around, we were shooting with rubber balls instead of normal paintballs, and that might have played a factor into your aim. And maybe the second round is what it took for you to adjust to the different weight of the paintball.
I think it might have. You know, there were a couple incidences where 2 pieces of ammo had come out simultaneously. Both different results for the 2 of us. It could have been the equipment. I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, you know, we went 1-1, but for me personally, I mean, like I said, it may be something I might have to work on. I feel confident running each round, doing the reloads, but again, it's all for none if I can't hit the targets.
Yeah, the weight of the rubber balls are different than paintballs. So I think at the very least, it affected how I was dropping into the chamber.
It was a factor.
Well, Joe, despite the hardships, we learned a lot and got some compelling episodes. How about you? What did you take from the experience?
Just to touch on it again, I really enjoyed our time out there. I liked the setup and the field that we had. It was something different than the previous 2 matches. Even though we were out in the desert again, the conditions of the field were different. The layout was, I feel, more scenic and kind of to the theme of Reloader. It was a good experience. And with that said, that wraps up today's show. We thank you for joining us, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you out there.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to the video. Drop a comment. Let us know what you liked about this or what you didn't like about this. Thanks so much for tuning in to Reloader Sport.
Thank you again for joining us.
Our Pentashot time trials are in the books, where we had 3 rounds to test our speed and our ability to hit 5 targets for the first time. Hello everyone, welcome to Reloader Sport. This is Christopher Bomershoot on commentary with the authority of attack, Joe Pisoletto.
What's up, everybody listening? What's up, Chief? Everybody ready to go over this recap of our Pentashot time trials? I know I am.
Joe, this episode is a compilation of our past 3 episodes where we combine all 3 rounds of our Pentashot time trials. But before we get started, can you please go over the Reloader field guide for this time trial for all 3 rounds?
The field guide for the match and the 3 rounds would be a total of 10 pieces of ammo, each reload counting for 2 pieces. In order to use that weapon, you must rescue your dummy. And finally, we'll have to hit that target 5 times, the 5th one signifying the completion of each round.
But it's Reloader time for round 1. And although we're going one at a time, we're going to do split screen as always. Joe, you're on the left, I'm on the right. We both went for the jerry cans first, and we picked up our 2 pieces of ammo at the same time.
Well, I went for the jerry cans, as we mentioned. For me, that was the easiest way, or I thought the best way to get myself warmed up.
Yeah, same. See, now I think I'm a smart guy, so I went for that dummy first, and I figured I have to bring him to a certain point to unlock my weapon. I already have him in my arms, might as well keep going and pick up 2 pieces of ammo from him.
Oh, that proved to be, genius, to be frankly honest with you. It was nothing I had really thought about. And yeah, I'll give you credit. You're a smart guy. It didn't cross my mind. I had to follow your lead in the next few rounds, but round 1, that definitely gave you the advantage right out the gate.
And round 1 was probably the hottest part of the day, I would think. It seemed hotter than the second 2 rounds, or maybe we just got used to the heat. Maybe that had to do with why we needed to warm up, pardon the pun. But it was warm out there. So you see me deliver my 3rd reload to get 6 pieces of ammo. You're a little bit behind me when I'm loading my weapon, but I'm gonna take a shot with 6 and see how it goes.
Well, for me, I knew round 1, my only strategy was to get 8 pieces of ammo. I didn't quite have a way to go about it, but be it that it had been a while since we had a match, and I know I don't practice on my own, my confidence level was about a 50% in my ability to hit that target 5 times with 6 pieces of ammo, so I knew I had to get 8.
taking the shots, it's the first time we shot at the target on the day. I'm a pretty decent shot, but I wasn't able to get it done with 6. I had to go back and get 2 more.
As the day went on, we saw that our shooting improved, but round 1 was just horrible. For me, I feel I was slow, my aim was off. It was a very frustrating round. Whether it was the hottest part of the day or not, it definitely felt like it.
That sandbag, I mean, you're doing it twice in the first round. For those who've never picked up anything so heavy and compact, it really grinds on you after a while. So it's something I tried to avoid doing, but as you can see, I had to do it.
Well, for all of those who have watched our matches, watched our rounds, you can see it does exhaust you. You'll see this is the first time I ever dragged the dummy. I always pick him up and carry him, but in round 1, I just didn't have it in me. Those 2 supply bags plus the jerry can plus the heat, I just mentally wasn't willing to do it.
That's part of my strategy is why I wanted to do him first, pardon the pun, but that's why he's not wearing pants. But I wanted to carry him all the way while I was fresh because he is awkward to carry and very heavy, and get him out of the way, I figured.
Well, that was super smart. I hadn't thought of it. And as you notice, I dragged him and then I'm sitting on him.
Yeah,
because my stamina was just very, very low. I mean, that's a telltale sign right there that I'm kind of exhausted. I'm sitting on my ass, I'm trying to take a good shot, and it's just not working out.
So being that you went first, I did see that you had to go deliver the dummy for that 5th reload, and I knew you were already tired. I didn't have to take the risk of shooting with 6 at that point, but like I said, I'm trying to cut corners knowing that I have 2 more rounds to go. Yeah, I was feeling for you having to deliver that dummy at the end of the round.
Well, we could both tell. I knew in my head, and I know you could tell by observing, I wasn't making good time. Anybody who shoots 5 for 10 isn't winning.
And you did end up going 5 for 10. 5 reloads for you, 10 pieces of ammo. And seeing that, I assumed maybe you'd be a little more tired in the 2nd, 3rd round, but you actually warmed up after this. We'll see in the next rounds how it goes. But that first round time, 4.5 minutes, you were struggling out there.
The only luck I would have had in this match is if I would have turned it on myself and just lit myself up and put myself out of my misery. That would have been the best luck I could have had for round 1.
On the other hand, I went 5 for 7, which at the time I was disappointed I missed 2 because I had to go back and do one. Because
a whole 2, huh?
Yeah, but like I said, I'm trying to conserve energy. I'm kind of a lazy dude. Everybody knows it. So I mean, I'm trying to do the minimal out here.
For anybody who doesn't know, Chris is a thinker. He's a thinker.
Not a doer.
Not a doer, yes.
4 reloads, 8 pieces of ammo. I think I had 1 more heavy bag I could have done, but didn't need it. I saved them for 2nd round. And speaking of the 2nd round, Joe, we're switching sides. I'm up 1 round to nothing. You had to start feeling the pressure. Now you're, facing elimination.
Well, I don't care about sides. I'm looking to switch results. I'm looking for the W instead of the L.
You're looking to hit the target instead of miss it is what you're trying to do.
Well, yeah, that would help. That would help in getting that W for sure.
But let's see how round 2 went. We started off, I went for the heavy bag first because I'm a G like that.
Well, that was definitely an interesting strategy, I'd say. I mean, for me, stuck to the jerry cans again. Like I said, good way to get myself going. And yeah, I was kind of surprised you went for that supply bag first.
The jerry cans are lighter, but they tend to tax your grip after a while.
And if you're not careful with balance, they can be awkward.
Yeah, if you see the first round, I stumbled a little with one of them. But I went back to back heavy bags, and I think you told me it's on your nuts or something like that. But yeah, I practiced it at home, so it wasn't too bad for me. But you seem to learn from the first round. You went for that dummy early, and you wanted to carry the rescue all the way to pick up the reload as well.
I saw that strategy work. You get your momentum going. It puts you in advantage. You're not forced to rescue him in a bind or in a pinch where you need those last two. It just gets you ahead of the game. So that was the strategy I took from you and try to put myself in position to win round 2.
I'm still in the mindset where I'm trying to conserve energy. I know I got a third round coming up, win or lose. So I figure, you know, if I have to, I'll go hard on the third one. So I didn't really stress over rescuing a dummy all the way.
Well, for me, as crazy as it sounds, my strategy, I feel sometimes, is to exert more energy so the engine can start going.
But you did decide to start shooting with 6 this time instead of 8. Is that, again, capitalizing on what you saw in the first round? Or do you feel like you have a better handle on shooting after shooting 10 shots?
After those 10 shots, I felt like I couldn't have done any worse. Going for 6 was a gamble as well.
You were ahead of me every step of the way until you took that 6th shot and you had to go back and get an extra 2. I did the lazy, easy dragging rescue, which looks easy, but actually more tiring on your legs. You can see I'm a little gassed, but I'm still, you know, I'm chilling. I take deep breaths, inhale, exhale, and shoot. You know, I'm clutch from the three-point range, Joe.
Well, you're clutch when you're wide open and nobody's guarding you either. I mean, yeah, as you mentioned, I had you. I had the faster time. As we're going over this, you can see I've dispensed all my ammo by the time you're shooting your first one in regard to how long it took. And even though my aim had improved, it wasn't good enough. In this match, you definitely were the better marksman, and it worked out for you in round 1 and round 2.
Yeah, you just needed one more piece of ammo and you had to really earn it the hard way to get it.
Honestly, I was so disappointed. I thought I had you. I thought I was going to win. After we ran this round, I still thought I had beat you regardless. I felt it was close, but it wasn't close enough.
Yeah, I'm like that dude in the movies. You know, they're just shooting like a million machine gun bullets at him, and I just show up with the one gun and just like start taking them out one by one.
Yeah, I've been shooting like a stormtrooper. I'm trying to improve that.
It's like a stormtrooper. So I took the victory in round 2, doing the minimum. 3 reloads, 6 pieces of ammo, 5 for 6 shooting. Upset that I missed the one, how dare I? So I was 2 seconds slower in this round, even though I only did 3 reloads. So you could see that I'm kind of like more taking my time on this one.
Well, yeah, your times were consistent. And exactly like you had mentioned, the fact being that you did 1 less reload, you gave yourself a little bit of time to focus on your shooting and make sure you hit those targets. I mean, 5 for 6 was still better than my 5 of 7. My 5 of 7 was way better than my 5 of 10, but in comparison, it wasn't enough. I mean, I did all the reloads faster. I got my shots off quicker. It doesn't matter if I didn't finish the round.
But yeah, 5 of 7, big improvement. And the thing that changed the most, I think, was you standing up now to shoot, which you haven't been doing in all of our previous rounds.
Well, moving forward, that's the strategy I'm sticking to.
That clinches the match for me now that I've won 2 rounds. We're still going to do a third because we don't bring all this stuff and not do 3 rounds. That's kind of a waste of time.
Yeah, you got to finish the game.
Yeah. And I'll admit, I've had the advantage going second each of the first 2 rounds. So I'll go back-to-back rounds. I'll go first this third round. But I'm not going to take it easy. I mean, when we're racing against each other directly on the field, we can see who wins, obviously.
Right.
But in this one, we didn't have a stopwatch on us. We're not checking the cameras actively. Going into third round, we don't really know who won that second round. We're still going to go hard. So it's not like I'm coming into third round thinking I've already won this. I'm still trying to win this third round.
Yeah, I think we both thought it was kind of up in the air.
And because of that, Joe, I came into this round with the strategy, hey, I'm probably going to need 8. I don't expect to shoot 5 for 6 every single time.
No, I went into this, I got to get it done. I got to get it done as quick as possible. I'm going with 6, and it's gonna work.
So we both employed the strategy of rescuing the dummy all the way. That's probably the best for this time trial. It uses your momentum, like we said. You see, I got a better grip, a better handle. So did you for that carry.
Hey, he didn't file a restraining order against you after you grabbed him?
Nah, he likes it. He likes it.
Okay.
So we both did the rescue. You learned from the previous 2 rounds, you were going for speed. And this being the last round, you know, there's no issue about your grip being taxed. You went for both jerry cans.
For me personally, I wouldn't say anyone quite enjoys doing reloads. They are hard. I've always felt I have very good grip strength. So doing the jerry cans, I feel is a reload that I can do hands down. I feel it's a reload I can do quicker than most. And it's something I put in my strategy to get this round in the books.
You know, those jerry cans are 7 gallons each. The reason I like these is because they're filled with water and it sways. It forces you to use your stabilizing muscles, not just your grip strength, not just your shoulders and traps, but it's really a full body exercise. We went 5 for 6, get that redemption victory. Meanwhile, I'm oblivious because I went first, and I'm thinking I'm making good time, and I am really compared to the first 2 rounds.
You did make good time. It proved to be your fastest round of the day, but not enough.
I thought, 8. If I go 5 for 7 in this one, I'm good. But I didn't even need the 8 because I'm just like that. You got it. There you go.
All day, you shot better than me. Every round. Round 1, you shot, I think it was 71%. Round 2, I shot 71, but you shot 83. This time, I believe I shot 83. You shot 100, but thankfully, I got all the reloads done a lot faster.
That 1 minute and 38 seconds is like not even fair. I don't know if I could have beat that time if I knew you ran that time first.
I'm quicker than the speed of sound. If you don't believe it, you just saw it.
If you don't believe it, you can hear it.
That's right.
But this was not a bad round for me either. I went 5 for 5 shooting. If I didn't go back and get that last ammo, no, I think I still would have lost actually. But yeah, because that's a ridiculous time you had.
Well, it was a great round for both of us. And again, that's what this sport is all about. Testing each other, being in competition, pushing yourself to the limit.
Going over our stats for all 3 rounds. Joe, you got more efficient with each round, doing 5 reloads, 4 reloads, 3 reloads. If we did a 4th round, I don't know if you can do 2, but you maybe would have. Targets hit, we both hit 15 because we were both out there to finish the round completely. Shooting wise, I just spit hot fire. I'm 83% on the day, 15 for 18. You went 15 for 23 on the day, but most of those misses were from the first round. You actually went 10 for 13 your last 2 rounds. Our best round on the day was this 3rd and final round, 220 to 138. I guess you won the time trial part.
I mean, we got to start doing like a 3 out of 5. If we do a 3 out of 5, I think I got you in the bag. You could go up 2-0 on me and I'd end up beating you 3-2. I'd be like the Red Sox, man. Be the first person ever to come back from that deficit.
Okay, sure. Well, the reason we do 2 out of 3 is because we're setting this up for tournament play. We're setting it up for multiple matches in the same day. So we're saying we felt really good after the 3rd round. That's great because if we had another opponent to face, we'd have to do it all over again.
Exactly. This is going to be a day event, maybe even a 2-day event.
Yeah, a couple day event.
So, I mean, right now, of course, we feel great. I'm saying I could have gone 5, but could I go a best 3 out of 5 for a whole day or a weekend? That's a tall task to ask. So The 3 rounds is definitely geared for once we get this sport evolved at its peak. But for now, I'll take the fastest time of the day.
If you go back to our history of, count all the stats, you outnumber me on reloads by a lot. But this is a shooting game, and you cannot win unless you shoot all the targets. So, you can be the best athlete out there. If you're a cockeyed mofo, you're not going to win this game.
If you forgot your glasses at home, you may be in a bad position.
But that's the theme of the game. We're action heroes out here. We're fit for survival. This is supposed to simulate, an attack on your field, and you have to race to be the first to rescue your friend and defeat the enemies, and be an overall kick-ass.
That's right.
But that about wraps it up for our time trial. I think we accomplished a lot out here in terms of what we learned and how we can apply it to make the game better. Please spread the word about Reloader Sport. Tell the feds, tell your girl, tell your mother, conference call your whack crew, and tell each other. We appreciate your support. Thank you all for tuning in. Joe, you have anything to leave us with before we sign off?
Look forward to you joining us next time.
Thank you so much.